It's a plot to drop the IQ. Fighting amongst each other over rumors that don't like you. Prefer us trapped in melancholy with the wood ones of holly. Suggestions that obliterate to camouflage the folly. Attempted mental robbery, executed sloppily. The pop proceed is mockery and walk the talk with me. Put the hands up to touch the Akasha, cause you know deep down there's something bigger than your wallet.
Sweet eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful, friends. Welcome to Middle Path this happy Thursday. It's the end of December. It's the end of 2021. We get to move into 2022. Feels nice to me. I always enjoy it. I know there's a million ways to cut the year up. There's a million ways to count when a year starts and when it ends, whether you're going by the sun, the moon, some combination of both, some Chinese astrological system. I think that actually goes by the moon too, or any other method. And so not everyone even cares that tomorrow is New Year's Eve in the West, but to many of us, we do. And this is how our culture counts it. And so whether you specifically align with that or not, that energy is happening. And that is what's going on in people's minds, and therefore it's real. So happy New Year's to you all. Happy end of 2021. I get really tired of the year in review stuff, so I'm not going to do it. It just bores me. Like, you were all here, you know what happened. I think it's cool, whatever, I don't care, but I just didn't want to do that. And I also get like really weirded out when people are just like, oh man, fuck 2021, like let it go, like it's gone, good riddance. And they every year the same thing. Fuck 2019, fuck 2010, fuck 2000, like every year. And I'm like, well, I mean, come on, like there's gotta be some good that came of it too, right? And I think it's important to be honest, right? And to know what was bad and negative and parse through it and like release it. That's cool. You don't want to lie to yourself. I think it's more important, however, especially because we live in such a coddled, like cynical society. We're promoted to be cynical and hateful and negative and critical. And so it's really important, I think, especially for us to count our blessings and to go over what was good for us in the year. And that kind of a year in a review would be great. And I just encourage each and every one of you to do that for yourselves. In fact, let's make that our practice, because on Middle Path, we like to bring a practice in and make this applicable. So we're not just always talking about spiritual stuff and whatever, our souls, our minds, our hearts, and what's good for them, but actually doing it too. And then you can take those things and apply them all throughout the year or anytime you want through your life. So I am streaming right now to all sorts of places. It's Premium Rockfin Show. It's actually for supporters only on Rockfin. And so if you're on Rockfin, you're noticing that already. This is premium and just for you. And if you're watching this elsewhere, you are going to have to come over to Rockfin. And while the rest of my shows on Rockfin are free, Middle Path is for supporters only. And Middle Path is specifically geared towards the getting a little deeper on the spiritual side of things, cutting out the new age bullshit, and getting really real and practical with ourselves and each other with some deep wisdom. So if you like that sort of thing, you want to hop over right now, and we're going to do this practice where we count our blessings of 2021 for a moment and just feel gratitude. And, you know, it's true. Gratitude, when you feel it, you love it, you act on it, you are that, you just bring more of those things that you love into your life. So that's another really good reason to not drop into just the cynicism and not just focus on what was bad, but especially on what was good. What did 2021 bring you that was great? So we'll do that in a moment. Before we get to that practice and before I cut the stream everywhere else, there are some things that I can share with everybody, whether you're a supporter or not. And especially, I always like to point out what's on the site. It's interesting because I still have people who don't understand what's on the site. And so, or that I do anything besides the show. In fact, I still have people who only listen on the podcast and don't realize that I do a live video show, and that blows my mind. I have people who've been listening to Rogueways for years and then find out that I write books. I have people who come to me for spiritual healing and then find out I have a show. There's just so many things I do, and there's people who don't know about all of them. So I know some of you know all this, but I just like to go over it sometimes to remind the people who don't know of all the things. So at rogueways.org, you'll find all sorts of stuff. I write articles and poems, and that's this front page is just sort of my thoughts, reflections, announcements, and things like that. There's many, many pages of that stuff. And along the top here is a nice set of tabs that takes you to all sorts of the other things I do, the books that I write, the tarot readings that I give, the spiritual guidance and healing that I offer, some testimonials about each of those. Brighter You, which is a 6-week course right now. It's going to grow and grow and grow into more and more and more as life goes on. And we have people come and join for the 6-week course of spiritual upliftment, spiritual channel widening, spiritual skill and ability acquisition and depth deepening, and just overall brightening of ourselves, in hopes that we then move on to serve others with those skills and abilities we find and develop during the course. And people who join Brighter You, even though at the moment there may not be a large video library, which is currently in the works, and many other things that are currently in the works, no matter when you join Brighter You, you will have access to those things when they do occur in the future as well. So, and you're also getting in at a steal at this point, because it's still in its, burgeoning, budding stage, which is beautiful. And there's also the shop. And if you click on shop, you can see all the different things that I offer. Many types of tarot readings, many types of healings and blessings, using tuning forks and otherwise. Brighter You, and also its related sorts of content. You can just get one-on-one courses and sessions that are not the whole 6-week package deal as well. So if you click on that category, it takes you to all of that. Those books that I write in both PDF downloadable form and signed by me in the flesh, in physical form, my orgone jewelry, crystal jewelry, and otherwise. And then you can just kind of scroll through all of it too and just see what there is. So there's always something for you. I do want to pull your attention to the soul guided meditations. We just did our last one of the month today. Every month we do twice a week, and if you buy this meditation membership, you get the whole month, and you can join us twice a week. And if you can't join us at the times that we do them live, you do get the recording, and it's just as powerful for you to be able to do that whenever you want. It's awesome, especially when you're going into the new year, you're thinking about resolutions, you want to commit to something that's good for you and your soul. Brighter You is a great option. Soul Guided Meditation membership is a great option. So I think it's good for people to just really commit and have that accountability. Like, yes, I am going to do at least 2 meditations a week. And sometimes you might want to do those more than once. All right, so my other favorite thing I'll just point out to you is I do custom Orgonite plaques as well, where you get to choose symbols, colors, and intentions to go into your plaque. And then I will create it just specifically for you. And that's at a very affordable price, I'll add. All right. So that's all I wanted to share with everybody. We are going to do our practice now. We have 2 practices today. They're both pretty short. They're just like a couple minutes. And then we'll get into the content, which we're going to be talking about the Dark Mother. Whoops. I always do this. I always have to remember to quit Telegram. The Dark Mother and Black Goo. So that's our topic. It's not as dark as you think. Middle path is never quite dark. It's a nice balance, right? Because we walk on the middle path. Haha. So it's not fake, it's real. We actually do that here. So if you want to get into that and you are not yet on Rokfin as a supporter, then you'll want to head over to Rokfin now and join us. Come join us. So I'm going to say goodbye to you if you're on YouTube. Much love to you. Or if you're on anywhere else, we got some people on YouTube. Just click below, you hop over, you can join and watch for the rest of time. Especially you get all the other people on Rokfin too. It's a smashing deal. All their exclusive content. So bye.